You know what you got going on better than anyone else alive. Keep that in mind as you listen to the reading. All right, let's get to it. Divine, may we have three best cards to describe the energy right now. Oh. All right, so we have rebirth, integration, and threshold. Okay. The challenge with this friendship right now is you are having a rebirth in terms of a significant change in something that is very constant with you. It feels like it's more so of it's a blossoming. You've come to a certain where you're blossoming in that area. You have a really big surge of healing in that area, which allows you to have understanding and wisdom with something that was once really challenging for you. And integrating this into the both of you all's energy right now is kind of like a problem. Someone is hitting their threshold. More than likely, it's your friend who's on the other side of this is what we hear about. The challenge is that this threshold of enlightenment for them that you've come into that feels natural for you now, that was once something that was far away from you, very distant. You've recently had a breakthrough, which leads to this rebirth. You're trying to integrate that in terms of bringing your friend on board and sharing with them all of this new and vibrant energy and understanding, etc. that's going on with you, that because your downloads are coming fast and quick, and this person is a bestie of yours or a really great friend of yours. And so you both are on you're on a similar type of journey and you're sharing this, but this person is reaching their threshold right now. They're they may be having self-sabotaging energy where they're becoming very critical or of you, or they don't seem to be as open to the conversation that they once were. Like, say your breakthrough started a little while back, maybe 30 days, 60 days over the summer, and they were like really excited about it, right? But you kept pouring into it and pouring into it, and now it's outstripped. You're ahead of them, and so now it's, because they can't keep up, it's starting to trip everything up, and they may be appearing to come off as very jealous or vindictive or as a hater. Okay, energy like that. But let's get some more details out here. All right, darling. Open mind, open heart. Ready to receive what the divine wants you to know. Deep breath. Divine, may we have 10 best cards, please, describing the cause and the effect of this current energy. Starting off is Chariot energy, and I feel like, again, this is doubling at this point, possibly tripling down on the energy that was described earlier about you having this awakening that's going on for you, this rebirth. Okay, where there are many elements about you that have remained, that are pretty much the same, but you're having a breakthrough in a spiritual space. Interesting forms of worship, whatever that means for you. But again, and you all were on similar paths, if not trying to do the same thing. Okay. However, for you, things are just taking off, and you've taken your hands off of that wheel, and you're allowing the divine within you to take the helm, and you're just moving with this energy, and you're being advised. I feel like the divine is saying to you to keep that same energy towards this in this relationship that you're having this challenging with right now, this friendship. Okay. Because their challenge is personal and you're being kind of swept into it. Now, if you get swept into it in terms of your head gets turned and you become distracted with the having a back and forth with this person, okay, it will be fruitless, and it will more than likely cause more harm than good, because it's really just this person's they're just not comfortable right now, and everybody gets a little bit sand in their britches when you're going through a spiritual or a any type of real evolution or change within yourself, especially one that is one that you're set into motion, right? And it can burst forth at any given time, and then once it's open, though, that's it. The floodgates are open. The floodgates are open, and you just have to begin to move into this new space and play because you can't go back, right? The star card is here. Four of swords in reverse. The star card, you're starting out two majors all out the gate here in terms of the causes of this energy, this healing that's coming in, and you walking towards your North Star. This Four of Swords is in reverse, which is to say there's no need to hesitate in terms of trying to figure out where your friend is in this energy, because this is mainly about you and what you're going through, and you've been sharing what's been happening with you as a way, I guess, of helping them to transition certain aspects too. Like when this comes on, this is what I just experienced, and this is what I went through, and this is what I did to do. And dangerously, though, it's starting to sound a little bit more self-centered, which it very well may be in a lot of ways. I mean, you may be talking about it quite a bit, and not realizing it, because we're talking about the cause of what's happening, and they are at their threshold of hearing about this. Because when you're excited, you want to talk about it all the time. Let's be real. However, we do have to, read the room a bit and say, is everybody on board with this? Because sometimes, you can inadvertently step on other people's toes. While they want to cheer you on and be happy for you, they're also going through their own turbulence and turbulent times. And so it's also mindful to be respectful. Got to be mindful as well, and utilize your new found joy to, be compassionate towards them too. Okay. Because we have the Prince of Swords in reverse, which would be the Knight of Swords in this deck. And then we have the Princess of Wands here. And again, we're talking about the cause of this. So the Knight of Swords is in reverse because the conversation may have been a little bit more one-sided than realized. And because you were sharing something that was positive, it didn't seem like that sharing something that was positive could create a negative, but it can if it's overdone. And it's not done in a manner of which is in a conversation, but more it could seem like you're beginning to brag or to boast. And you don't have any way to really to determine when that switch goes on. All right. But you do have a thing to be aware of, to say, am I talking about this too much? That keeps coming up. The Princess of Wands is then to say perhaps a new approach, right? Let's get interested about them now and what's going on with them, because they're looking to take a new approach to potentially begin to move away from the connection for a while, or your friendship for a while, to get to a place where they can actually get back on and work for themselves. Because right now they may have just by default be feeling a bit jealous. While they're happy for you, they're in conflict with that because they themselves want to experience that and they feel left out, right? So then the Judgment is here. We have the Judgment, Ten of Swords, Three of Wands in reverse, Ten of Cups in reverse, and then the Seven of Cups upright in terms of the effects that this is having on you all right now. So the Judgment card is here of where you're reflecting the same thing, but it's a bit different, right? So right now you're the swan that is coming to full glory, right? And is experiencing this rebirth. They're still reflecting in the pond. It's coming for them. They see that, but they're not physically in that space yet. So they're still transitioning. This is where things are getting a little bit foggy for you too. And there's this Judgment here of where potentially towards your friend, of where you're saying you should just be happy for me. Are you really a good friend if you can't just be happy for me? But you cannot give to someone what you don't actually have. They have a bucket of happiness, but it's not overflowing. So they have to keep digging into their bucket to sustain being happy for you. But we should all be to the place of where we're trying to get, or we're overflowing, where everyone catches the overflow, and that way we always stay full and everybody else just gets the overflow. And right now they're dipping out. They're dipping into their resources because perhaps they're being taxed because there's so much coming towards them in regards of you needing this support, or you're needing someone to be happy for you. Okay. There could be pressure around them feeling like they have to be that way. And when they can't be them true selves, and then it just somehow it breaks through because you guys know each other very well. Of course, you can read it. Now their judgment, your judgment towards them is that, and their judgment towards you is like, I am happy for you, but can't you see that I'm working too, and I'm not at your space? And do you think I want to hear about this all the time? So again, okay, the Ten of Swords here with the, and it's like this. It's not that I'm not happy for you, and that's also the thing. But they're like, but I'm just not happy for myself right now. I don't have it to. I need to. You know what I mean? Like I'm being zapped. Okay, Ten of Swords to the Star card. Um, hmm. Both in this space of wanting it to be over, this weirdness, but not knowing how that's going to transition or how you're going to be able to get it to a place that it's over with, because it's really unspoken between the two of you. It's one of those things, kind of like it's nothing right, it's nothing wrong, but it's all bad, and you don't really know. I mean, how do you tell somebody that? Can you like hold back on talking about something that you're so proud of them that they got to and that they're experiencing, but at the same time, it's making you feel small and insignificant in your journey, just to say. And then how do you tell someone that they should be happier for you and that they're being selfish because you feel like they're just not happy enough for you? Is that really what it is, or do you feel like they resent you? Because that would be, you know what I mean? Like, you resent me from being. I thought we were trying to get to this place together, right? Now you resent me for it. So, Three of Wands to the Four of Swords in reverse, or Four of Swords to Three of Wands in reverse. In terms of the effects, I mean, right now, you guys don't have any like real goals towards addressing this because it's a very sensitive place. And you with the Chariot card, that energy that was described early on about not looking around right now, you have to stay focused. So I don't think you guys are at a place of where you're making any immediate plans to be around each other, see each other, etc. Like, things as of late, probably on their side, has really been kind of like brushed aside in a way. And it's been going on probably at the maximum a few months, maybe 2, 3 months, that the person has not been so willing to be around you. Um, but not, presumably not because of anything that you've done to them. It's just, but again, right now they can't deal with all the great things that are happening for you because they are in their own little space of feeling. They may be feeling a little bit down on themselves about it. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you all started the journey together. But again, you never really know anyone's full history. You could have had more in the bag than they did with the whole process. They didn't know it. You didn't tell them. And, so it did come a little bit different for you. But whatever the case may be, that's why this Three of Wands, it feels like, is in reverse right now. There's a pause on things. This person is processing and you're moving forward. Okay. So the Knight of Swords being, with the effect being a Ten of Cups in reverse, the lack of conversation right now is going to put things in a holding pattern, of where you'll be focused on things that once were, like, it's just on pause. You're trying to keep yourselves thinking positive about this weird space that you guys find yourself in, this weird unspeakable place currently. To remember that the friendship is very solid. Like, when you feeling like this, they're not being supportive, you also then you quickly pull up things about how great of a friend they are and have been and have always been to you, and vice versa. Okay, so this Ten of Cups in reverse. But right now, with the Knight of Swords being here, where the truest thoughts are not being said, it's just in a limbo kind of space. Like, we don't know what we're doing, but we're not doing that. We're not tearing each other down. We're not um having sidebar conversations. Like, it's none of that. It's just this quiet, weird quiet, like eerie quiet, like, what's been happening. Seven of Cups upright to this, in terms of the effect of this Page of Wands. Yeah, there's the emotions come in it feels like from in totality of where you just don't want to hurt or harm each other. You want to get to that 6 of cups, that comes prior to where you get to a place where you once were in a weird space, and then you come back together because you've personally resolved your challenges about what was happening between the two of you all, and came back together and kind of like just fixed that on your own because you understood where you both were and how you were coming at each other. You took your time apart, you looked at it from both sides, etc., back and forth, and same for them. And then it was like, okay, now I know what I need to do. And it was just this self-healing thing that happened. You came back together, clicked it up, turned the lights back, flipped the switch, and everything starts rolling in the right direction again, because it really isn't anything that you guys have kind of butted heads on. It's just an understanding of where you all are in each other's walking journey with each other and how you're supporting one another right now. And so the 7 of Cups comes in a space of how do you get back into the zone with each other? Who's going to make that first move? Who should? And is it even time? So still choices to be made emotionally, as well as for each other, in terms of like recognizing where you're coming in and what choices you need to make sure that they're emotionally stable and comfortable, and vice versa towards you. Okay. It's a very important friendship, this is, especially consider how respectful you all are, of giving each other space, which is very lovely to see. So let's get Divine, we have 5 best cards for steps towards resolution. Okay, so the Moon card, clarifying judgment, and the Chariot, all are kind of here, and all about a form of clearance and clarity. Because the Moon card here, you can still see what's going on, but it's in a shadow light, right? But you still see but the light being there, shows you what's in the shadows as well, gives you an idea, a silhouette of what you see. And so you can figure out how to approach things, of whether you should stand still, move away, or move towards. Even though there's something here that is yet to be uncovered, the truth that's going to come out is going to be one that is healing, both individually to you all and self-healing to the relationship. That's the mystery. That's the divine's way of bringing you guys back together. However, the Magician being here, clarifying the 10 of Swords and the Star card. We got 5 majors out now thus far. To let you know that this shift is major. Like, the intention is clear, but you got good intention. I mean, it's nothing really bad. Just it's normal questioning. I like it. Thinking it through. Thinking. I like it. The Magician being here is to understand as above, so below. To focus on the truth of your relationship, your friendship with this person. One of the things I like to say is, meet their expectation, exceed your own, and therefore you're always in a bliss point. And so you know what needs to be done. Once you begin to pull back from your personal, how your personal emotions are interfering with the overall health of the connection, and the things that you need to resolve with you and divine, and the things that you need to resolve with each other. Some of these things are going to be unspoken. Some of these things are, you're not going to need to have a conversation. You're just going to adjust, and they're going to follow your lead and adjust as well. It's going to be an energetic shift. For those who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. When you and your friend have a disagreement, you hear it in their voice, they hear it in yours, you pull back immediately. Okay, you do as respectfully as you possibly can. And you may take a couple of minutes off, take a couple of days off, take a couple of weeks off until you process what happens. Then you come back, you say, first of all, let me tell you where I went wrong. Right? And then, blah, blah, blah. If it's necessary, sometimes it's just unspoken. You just self-heal. And that's what I feel like is going to happen here. Unspoken healing. The Magician is here where you're both working towards, and that's going to be a step of resolution of getting back to how you see things in your mind to create as a blow, to create that vibe again with once again with each other. Disappointment, Five of Cups. Here with the Four of Swords in reverse and the Three of Wands in reverse. And that's, you know, the hurt and the harm that has come from it. And I feel like it's a little of embarrassment on both of your sides, because for you, you jump to conclusions because you were what you're feeling is so precious and so fragile. You expected that your person, your this friend would be all aboard on it, and they really have been. But as of late, because they're not where you are. It's just been a little bit different for them. It's been a little more painful than it is positive for them to hear about it, because it's not happening for them, and because it's happening for you now, they're like, oh man, it's so close. They can almost taste it. And so you see what I'm saying. But on the other side, for them, same thing. They're like, oh my God, what does it say about me if I'm trying to be a better person spiritually and get more in touch with my divine within me, and I'm feeling jealous and mad or irritated towards my friend for getting what I want both of us to have, right? That type of thing. But the Two of Cups is there. Union is here, and this is a part of that, because a big part of your spiritual journey and being balanced is understanding to the the personal pain and shifting that comes along with that. Because before you came into this really positive place to shift, remember, it was really painful for you too. And you might not have said anything about it because you didn't want to give it life, right? So you know what this person is. But you'll realize that that's where that self-healing moment is going to happen. So in terms of like the little scar, you get a cut here and you guys are going to heal. It'll body will do exactly what it does. With your friendship, it'll do exactly what it does. But that scar will be there as a reminder of what you've overcome and triumphed through. So you have the Knight of Swords, Ten of Cups in reverse to the Queen of Discs in reverse. Introspection. Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate partner. Always working on the scene and behind the scenes to become the best possible person so that they can be the best possible person for everyone else by default. Their environment generally reflects a nurturing environment because they are nurturing in and of themselves. And so that's what's on pause right now with you guys. Because it's about, in terms of you giving it to each other, you have to begin to self-heal and nurture yourself before you can come back to each other again and share that vibe that you always have had with each other. This is a special friendship. It's almost like a kinship. This very well may be a relative that is also your best friend too. It's got really deep roots. It feels like it's a very, like, sometimes when I have a session and shift, the energy shifts. This is a point to this conversation. It's a nervous, kind of anxious kind of energy. It's kind of prickly sometimes. This is very comforting. Like, ain't nobody going nowhere. But we hit a bump in the road, and it's an ugly bump. But ain't nobody going nowhere. It's real solid. It's real like, let's work this out. We just need to think it through, right? Like that. Then the Prince of Wands, Seven of Cups, or Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ace of Wands. Big energy. The leader between you two is going to step up and open the door for conversation and dialogue again. Okay? And you have one of those really big, deep hugs that you all do. And then, that energy will pass. The unspoken healing will pass between each other. You'll look at each other in the eyes. You'll be clear. And you'll get to work. Get business back better than usual. Because this is a process for this person to come into a space of where you are currently now. Okay? It makes sense. I know it do. That is the session, darling. I appreciate you. And do remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.